Yo, 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 welcome back to the Further Your Lifestyle podcast, conversations on lifestyle, passions, and hustles. My name's Chris Furlong, I am your host, and I'm super excited to be back here having the conversation with you. Episode 46, and did you know I have a goal this year to get this out to as many people as possible, and the best way that you can help do that is share it with someone. If you think there's an episode that would resonate with someone, or maybe you enjoyed it and you think it's worth sharing, please, that is the best thing that you can do for this podcast at this point in time, and I would greatly appreciate it. However, today I want to talk about furthering your lifestyle. Now, of course, this whole podcast is called Further Your Lifestyle, and that's what it's all about, but I actually want to break down a few ways that you could do this. If maybe, listening to some of the guests, they're always talking about how they've furthered their lifestyle. And a lot of the things that I do in my solo episodes are to encourage you and show you how you can potentially further your lifestyle as well. But today I want to actually get a bit more explicit and actually just break down a few areas in which I believe that if you do these, it's going to help you grow in more than just one way of just, getting the result of whatever it is you're pursuing, but actually learn some different skills and learn a lot of things along the way. So really, I just want to, break it down, throw some things up on the whiteboard and really just see what sticks. And there's no right or wrong answer to this, and there's thousands. There is so many. And today we're just touching on the tip of the iceberg. What I'm going to do is quickly just throw a few ideas out there. It's just some things that you can quickly jump on and think about and see if any of them actually stick and actually resonate with you. And then I'm going to dive into 5 other ones, which we'll dive in a little deeper and actually break down some of the understanding, some of the perspective, and see if that can help you further your lifestyle even more. But really, some of the ones which you probably hear of how you can make this year better, or what can you do to level up, or something that you should focus on in ensuring that you can be the best version of yourself. Well, here are 4. The first one is face fear. And this applies to so many different things, but facing fear would be one that you can do to really further your lifestyle, because it's going to open up so many more doors and so many more opportunities. The other one is eliminate distractions. Now, this one, easier said than done, but if you're able to do this, you can change things up big time. You can get some time back, you're going to enable yourself to focus, be more productive, and get things done. Another one could be exercise, or exercise more. The idea around exercise is keeping it consistent. It's not about doing too much of it, but ensuring that you're doing enough of it to keep yourself healthy, fit, and, in the zone. So that could be another way you could do it. And one more is stop making excuses. This is a great way to further your lifestyle, simply because there's so many things that we blame on other things. There's so many things that we make excuses for, that things don't change, when really we just need to take action. So stop making excuses and you'll be able to further your lifestyle. So they're just a quick 4 that I believe that you could just quickly run away with right now and start to actually apply to your life. But the ones that I want to focus on for this episode and provide a bit more detail and a bit more perspective, regardless of these, as I said, there's no right or wrong, but these are just ways and some ideas of things that you can do today to start to further your lifestyle. And the first one, coming off the bat, being a new year, is to set a goal, or set some goals, or whether it is for this year, or maybe it is just for some of the months for this year, but really set some goals and be ambitious about it. And the whole point of this is to not set them without understanding, but set them with ambition and with intent and knowing what it's going to take. When you break down goals, it starts to show you what habits and what routines or what systems you might need in place to enable these to happen. And basically it enables you to understand, what is one thing that you can do each day to get closer towards that goal. And that's really the intent here. It's not about setting a big goal and then not knowing what to do about it to see it come into play, but really setting a goal that that, okay, I can actually do this. I can, do something per day, whether it was something such as, you want to exercise more this year, and how can you do that? How can you exercise 5 times a week? Where can you put that into your schedule? It doesn't have to necessarily be daily. It could be on a weekly basis or a monthly basis, or however. Maybe another way that you could do this is set a challenge for the year. Maybe it takes away this whole pressure of a goal. Setting a challenge may change, I guess, your idea or your thinking or the perspective of the goal, and it might actually help you complete the challenge a lot easier. And sometimes it just really comes down to psychology and the way that we vision these things or see them, and it could be just because they're scary. But as I said before, facing fears is going to help you get ahead this year as well. But really, the first one that I wanted to really say is setting some goals, or set a goal, but making sure that you're doing it with ambition, with intent, and breaking it down. The next one, or the second point that I really want to focus on today, is to create something. Now, this is very broad, and it brings in so many different opportunities, so many different things that we can play with, and so many different things that we can explore. But the whole purpose, I guess, or the big win for creating something is it requires us to be vulnerable. It requires us to be open and willing to fail. And once again, bringing it back to, we have to face our fears. We have to face our fears of ourselves, and the fears of what others may think, or the fears of what people, how they may judge it, or what people might think, which it's a bit cliche, but it's very true, because we are so worried about what other people think. We're worried how people will judge it, or we're worried, this won't be good enough. We're actually more worried about what people will think before they've even seen it, and we make that decision for them. So being able to create something puts us into this position where we have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And the way that we can do this is, it might play with your artistic skills, it might be your creative skills. So creating something, but taking it that step further and actually sharing it, documenting it, and sharing it with others and expressing it with others, and enabling them to experience that process or that journey or progress as well. And that's where you have to get vulnerable. That's where you have to get uncomfortable, and you have to show it. And it means you might fail, it means you might stuff up, but it might also mean that you get comfortable. It might mean that you grow confident. It might mean that you actually start to create something that people want to see, and people want to buy, or people want to be a part of. And until you start that, you're not going to know. And once again, it really comes down to mindset and facing some of those fears, and eliminating distractions, and stop making excuses. But this one would be a big game changer, because it's not just enabling you to tap into something that you're really passionate about, but it's going to open up some different skills, and just the way that you go about doing things yourself, and how you even look at yourself or present yourself, and it's going to build confidence. There's so many things that can overflow from just getting out there, creating something, and sharing it. Number 3 is start something. Now, very similar to creating something, but my advice on this one is only start something if you're passionate about it or intrigued by it. But you really have to be passionate about it, because sometimes forcing this is going to be hard. But if it's something there which you're curious about, something there that you are passionate about, it's going to enable you to start a lot easier, and you're going to enjoy the process. Now, really what I'm talking about here is, when it comes to starting something, it's about having ownership. It's about taking accountability, and it's about putting into play a series of motions to get to an end result. Now, this can play back to goals and creating something, so they do go hand in hand. But this might be a YouTube channel, it might be you want to document something, or maybe it's an Instagram, might even be a podcast. It might be neither of those. It might be just you want to start a book, you want to start journaling, you want to, and it really plays back to a lot of the goals and creating something. But starting something on a new journey, the idea is that getting you out of that comfort zone and getting you uncomfortable and in a new position to think differently and to try new things. But a good way to look at this is, what is it that's always been on your mind to build or create? Something that you've always been curious about, or something that you've wanted to explore. And the other thing to consider is, if you don't actually put something in place to, that you can start, that you can actually progress in, it's going to become frustrating, and it's going to be something that maybe isn't right for you. Now, I'm not saying you want to pick something easy, but as a good example would be coming back to exercising. If you want to start a fitness journey, if you want to show to people that, it's easier said than done, or that you want to prove that you can do it to yourself, documenting it and sharing that journey, whether it is via social platforms or whether it's just documenting in a journal, it's going to enable you to progress, and you're going to see that progression. And I think sharing it is a great way to keep yourself honest and also accountable and responsible. But sometimes just documenting it and keeping it to yourself is enough to keep you motivated and to really stretch you and push you into some new, ways of living, and it will further your lifestyle. Number 4, or the next one that I want to chat about, is volunteering. And this one can be a great way to learn new skills or learn new ways of doing things. And it's also a huge way to open up your eyes or open up your mind to new ways of doing things. You can do this in so many different ways, and there's so many different opportunities out there for this. But usually, it takes place at a charity or at an organization, and these organizations have an intent to make a difference in the world, whether it's a small on a small area, like on a micro level, or maybe it's on a macro level and it's a global organization. But regardless, they're out there to make a difference and to make an impact. And I think what's really encouraging about this is when you go into that situation, when you go into that environment, into that ecosystem, you get to see what happens and how it happens, and the processes that are required to make it happen. And it's inspiring, it's life-changing, and it can be quite encouraging to see that all these things are happening. It can also be quite a eye-opener to show you that, wow, like these things need to happen in order for these people to get that, or whether it's people giving out water or giving food to the poor, or close to the poor, or supporting people, or there's ones that are helping raise money for research for diseases and all that jazz. There's so many out there. There's so many that I wouldn't even know or understand. But the whole point of this is for you to get out there and to understand, there's things bigger than ourselves, and that you can be part of something that is making a big difference. And sometimes that's all we need. It's not necessarily about us. We don't need to start something and, pursue for greatness and to make a life-changing goal or something like that, which are the ones that I've kind of touched on already. This one might be something for you that you need to enable you to grow and try new things, and you will learn new skills. You'll have to deal with people. You'll have to follow a process. You'll have to operate out of your normal working routine or your normal working environment. It's going to stretch you. It's going to be a way that you can make a huge difference for not only yourself, but for parts of the world or someone else in the world, or be part of something greater than yourself. It's a great way to really experience a way to further your lifestyle. And the final one, and number 5, that is to learn a new skill. And it does come back to a lot of 1, 2, and 3 of starting something or creating something or setting a goal. But sometimes it's not about setting goals. Sometimes it's just like you want to learn to cook, or maybe you want to play a particular sport, or maybe you've always wanted to do some, do it yourself at home, or DIY. And this is a chance to learn. It's a chance to learn something new. It will mean that you might need to set a goal, or you need to take a challenge, but you don't have to. It might just be as simple as you want to be able to cook your meals every night for 7 days a week. But it means you will need to do some actions, right, and take action to make it happen. You can share it. You don't have to. But the thing here is, you won't necessarily be volunteering for someone else, but you will be volunteering for yourself. You're going to be giving up time. You're going to be sacrificing time that you would have spent elsewhere in your life and putting it here in this part of your life to change, to grow, to learn this new skill. And I think that's important because it's an investment, right? You're literally taking a percentage of your time, investing it into this area to see if you can grow and see if you can get some bigger and better outputs or some rewards. And it is usually very, very rewarding. It's a win-win process. And it's not always an easy process, but it will be a rewarding one. And I think it's important to understand that you get to set this. There's no one else setting this for you. With all these, this all comes back to you. At the end of the day, if you do want to make a difference in your life, you need to take action. You can help make a difference in someone else's life by helping them make actions, or encourage them, or inspire them, or influence them, or direct them. But you're not the one doing the work. You're just there to really guide them. So it really does apply to you that if you want to further your lifestyle, or further your life, or change your life, you need to take action. It really is that simple. But these are some of the ways that you can do it. And as I said, these 5 ways aren't all the ways you can do it. There's so many ways that you can do it. And I'd love to share, I'll come back and I'd love to share some more ways that you can do this. And you might not think about it, but getting a pet is a way to further your lifestyle, because you have to learn new skills. You have to become accountable. You have to become responsible. And all these things play bigger parts into your life as you progress. So a question that I have for you before we finish up is, have you done something which you feel has furthered your life, or maybe is furthering your lifestyle? And if you think it's something that other people should hear, let us know. Reach out. Be more than happy to connect and have this conversation. And maybe it's something that we can bring onto the podcast as an episode. So keep an ear out and your eyes peeled for more episodes like this. But really, I want to continue that conversation, because sometimes people are doing so many different things, so many wonderful things, and until you hear it from them, you get to understand their perspective and realize that there's actually a huge opportunity here for others to learn and grow and take away with. So if you want to connect, you can hit us up on Instagram at Further Your Lifestyle, otherwise on Twitter at Further Your Life. You can also drop us an email at hello@furtheryourlifestyle.com. The point is, reach out, let's connect, and let's see if we can further this conversation and not just further our lifestyles. If you enjoyed this, I would really appreciate that you can share it with someone. Reach out if you think there's someone that this could resonate with. Please do share it. I have a goal to hit 10,000 downloads this year, and I want you to be part of that. I want to see if we can continue to grow this, because at the end of the day, this is a conversation. I'm not here with all the right answers. I'm not here with all the best answers, but I am here to have a conversation and to help encourage others to further their lifestyle, whether it is through conversation, whether it's through passions, hustles, or anything like that. Because at the end of the day, we're all here just trying to figure out what we want. We want purpose. We want passion. We want to be known for something, or maybe we don't. Maybe we just want to be able to do life and have fun. And that's what it's all about. And being able to share these stories, sharing these perspectives, and to help bring some encouragement is really all the intent that I want to achieve here. And we can do that more and more if we work together. Appreciate you listening. Of course, reach out, let's have a conversation, and you have a wonderful day. Cheers. Now, if you didn't know, we do have the podcast merch, and this is with a key focus of enamel pins. Now, if you haven't checked these out, make sure you do, because the intent of these are really just to be a small token and a reminder for you to charge on, to push on, and to further your lifestyle. Whether it is a gift for someone else to encourage them, or maybe to inspire them, or maybe it's a way to motivate yourself, or you can simply just make a purchase to simply support the podcast, which would be greatly appreciated. We do also have some sweaters and some long tees, so make sure you check it out. Link in the description and in the show notes. Really do appreciate it. Cheers.